What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wind Down Wednesday edition of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm Eric, Mr. Cincinnati Robinson, and as always, I am joined by the podcast dad himself, Chris Hoops. Choops, how are you, buddy?
As always, huh?
Yeah.
As always. Pretty sure I saw you earlier.
Yeah, you might have seen me earlier.
I did see you. Where did I see you earlier, Mr. Cincinnati?
So I just got done with the On the Mark podcast. Always great to hang out with Kyle Gagliardi. Yeah, I cannot talk right now. Gagliardi, I apologize, of the Main Event Network. We had a great time recapping the Royal Rumble. Again, congratulations to our network brother in arms, Jim Tucker, on the birth of his new baby. Congratulations again.
I'll let this one slide because it is part of the podcast network. Don't ever do it again.
What? Hashtag Team No Kids. Every once in a while, you got to match that energy, man. You know,
it is Wine Down Wednesday. You don't have wine.
I have a sour from Urban Artifact. I mean, I can pour it into a wine glass if it makes. What's that mean?
And speaking of Wine Down Wednesday, I got to thinking. I'm a wrestling junkie.
Yeah, I believe that we've both been told that.
I'm a mark.
Yeah.
Is this an accurate representation of what I would drink wine out of?
Probably not. I can't wait to see where this is going.
It's not. So I got to thinking, do I have something better to drink wine out of? And then I go over to my cabinet to pick out my wine glass, and what do I see? Yes, I am Gangrel. Yes,
That's
I am a member of the Brood.
Yeah.
I wish we had the music, but pretty soon I will have fire around me. And cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers. It may not be wine, but this is a mango Midwest fruit tart, courtesy of Urban Artifact, one of the best breweries here in the city. So
I'm not gonna spit it out because I don't want to get it on my laptop. But you guys get the reference. For those who know, you know. For those who don't, go educate yourself.
It's one of the best theme songs of the Attitude Era. That's for sure.
It's top 5 ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, welcome to the Wrestling Junkies podcast, or welcome back. As always, hit that QR code in the top left corner. Like, share, subscribe. Again, if you know just one person that would enjoy this podcast, share it with them. Let them see for themselves the community that we are trying to grow here. We got 2 great interviews that are dropping this week. We have the second main event mixer coming up this Sunday. We are going to be talking NXT Vengeance Day. I know that I am due to talk a little bit of AEW, and I'm sure that you feel the same way. It's been a big WWE week with a lot of things, so
it's on my screen now, guys. It's on my screen now.
Yeah, we promise. We're not talking.
I'm gonna spoil.
Yeah. Again, we may criticize them, but at least we're watching the product.
I just saw a bunch of luchadors attack Jon Moxley. I'm interested.
Yeah, an invasion angle with CMLL is the vibe that I'm getting here. I'm not mad at that if executed properly. I also saw that Tony Khan has a big announcement scheduled for next week. So,
okay.
Anyway, yeah. So
we'll get
what do you want to talk about? Will we?
You want to talk about NXT?
I would love to talk about NXT, and I mean,
I'm tired of stealing my co-host. How about that?
I'm back.
How about that? And I will have you know, Kyle, I watched your entire show while having a kid in one arm, feeding it like this, making sure I could comment on your video. You guys are doing awesome, Mr. OTM. Whoa.
He's stealing you next, okay? See? We're even.
Eric pays me a pretty dime to be on here, so you might have to match that.
Are we just gonna do a full-on podcast swap at this point? Is that what's next here?
Hey, I'll participate in a wife swap. Yeah. The show. The
This is
show. God. Get your mind out of the gutter. Jeez. I love my wife.
I mean, I know she's a great person. I love Heather. She's awesome.
You know what?
And yeah, you should have won. You should have won. I voted for you, but I was told that
I
my
agree.
vote
I should
didn't
have
count.
won.
So,
All I know is my lawyer's on it. Don't worry.
oh,
Don't
whatever.
worry.
Whatever. Yeah. So let's talk NXT, brother. So we had
Did you
the
say? Did you just
final
call me brother? Brother.
brother with an A. No, not
Yeah,
that.
he
No,
wouldn't say that.
no. Hmm.
It is off the rails
That's
tonight, folks. I'm so sorry.
that's the problem. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, so
That's the
yeah,
problem. Sorry. Go
I
ahead.
just are you? Could we?
You popped me. What do
Like,
you want me to do?
I am just saying that I think that we should probably start the show now. Is kind of
I'm
what I
waiting
was
for
thinking.
you.
I've you know what? Oh,
Trick and Mello.
yeah.
Pretty good.
Continue.
Pretty good
Yeah.
match with LWO.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Really, I mean, they've got phenomenal chemistry. I mean, both teams are pretty over right now. I think that this brief return to NXT has been good for LWO just because they very rarely get to stand out on their own as a tag team, these particular two. They certainly didn't very much in the first iteration of their NXT run, and even during the cruiserweight division, I think that they really weren't getting a lot of opportunities there, other than putting over champions. So this was a great moment for everybody involved. I don't think that's really surprising that that Trick and Mello advanced to take on the Wolf Dogs. This is hopefully just a continuation of that story between Trick and Mello. Trick is now going to be doing double duty at Vengeance Day.
Yeah, kind of like you, just Mr. Double Duty over here.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say I think this might be two
I,
weeks in a row.
I don't, dude. I thought it was Tuesday until about 3 o'clock today. So I don't know
Me too.
where
Dude, you
I
were not
am. I
the
don't
only
know who
one.
I
You ain't
am.
the only one.
Um,
That's all right.
yeah, like I think LWO. I think those two should. I hope they get something substantial moving forward, whether it's after Mania, or something on like maybe the Stand and Deliver card. Like they're really really good, and I think they've been underutilized, and I think they could be a very valuable asset to the tag division, which I think NXT needs right now. Because we talked
Yeah.
about it before, the Dusty Classic is the finals is two single stars paired up as teams. So
Yeah.
you're not really highlighting your tag division, while the other part of that is you have you have your tag team champions of NXT on the pre-show in a 6-person match. So those champions are
That's
not
right.
being
Yeah.
highlighted. I think you could utilize teams in NXT a little bit better. I think they could be a lot of fun. Dragon Lee is still down there, so you know why not do a little LWO down at NXT and have you don't need Zelina in that group. Zelina can go with Andrade over on Raw, and I'd be perfectly fine with that. Carlito can go do what he needs to do. Rey Mysterio never needed the group, so why not do a little Dragon Lee LWO down in NXT and see what you can get done?
So I want to. I'm just gonna throw this out there, literally just because it kind of popped into my head as you were saying this. As far as the finalists for this match are single stars that have been paired up. At this point, it might be worth considering making this a WWE wide tournament. And looking at it as a tag team equivalent of a Royal Rumble. Basically, you win the Dusty Classic, then you get your choice of whatever, and this would also call for a split of the tag team titles, but let them choose their shot as far as tag teams there. I mean, if the big complaint is, and I think that at least for us anyway, is that there were a lot of teams that were just single stars that were put together in this entire tournament. This could be a way to fix that.
Yeah, I would still want it to have a presence for NXT. So maybe you do an NXT side of the bracket and maybe a WWE side of the bracket kind of thing. I still would want NXT to be involved because that was Dusty's, baby down there in NXT, and
Sure,
it
sure.
kind of represents that whole Dusty Rhodes legacy. I'm perfectly fine with that, but I think you need to keep NXT involved in that somehow. And in years past, they've done a good job highlighting tag teams. I think this year we just saw a lack of depth in the tag division from what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and I mean, they seem to be fixing that as far as Raw and SmackDown. But like you said, I mean, you got the NXT Tag Team Champions likely working the pre-show in a 6-man tag team match with their respective groups. And this is
Out
no
the
disrespect
mud.
to the on the mark guys, but I am not a fan of OTM, the NXT OTM
Yeah, they're not
at
doing it
all.
for me. They're not doing it for
It's
me.
not working. Even and I like Jada Parker. I really enjoyed her in the breakout tournament. I think that she's going to be awesome in WWE for sure. This edition, I mean, it's not really doing anything to move the needle, and I mean, this is very clearly not a metaphor type group.
No, no. Well, and the part of the problem is when they're cutting promos, man. Half the time I don't know what they're saying. I
Yeah,
don't,
they still.
and it's not like slang or anything. I just don't understand what the words that are coming out of their mouth. Shout out to Rush Hour.
Yeah, yeah, and I just I don't know. It still feels very robotic as far as the delivery of what they're saying as well too. So like it doesn't feel as natural as it could. And again, I think it goes back to we have seen Reggie gallivanting around with Carmella. He was in the 24/7 division. Basically, he was just known as the guy that flipped around everywhere. They put him under a mask. They take him out of the mask. Like, I'm now all of a sudden supposed to believe that you're a badass.
Yeah.
Like, make that
No,
make sense.
no. I think he's super talented, which is why I hope
Sure.
they find a role for him. But this isn't it.
No, no, it is not.
So we got showing up. Oh,
Nicholas and Matthew Jackson.
yeah. Okay.
I wish I could grow a goatee like that.
Nice for the EVPs to show up to their show late.
So
Just saying. I don't.
not a fan of this gimmick.
I'm not into this right now.
They're just trying to grow up, dude. That's all it is.
I'm not into it yet.
It's a maturation.
I know. I get the idea, but I wish they wouldn't dress so ridiculous.
But
I think that's part of the problem.
point. That's
Yeah,
the
but
point. You got to
if
have
you're
a
gonna
little
grow
swagger
up
like us.
Put some. I don't know. All right, we'll talk about
It's
that.
a fitted suit. It's fresh. It's clean. It's pressed.
It's
Hair
not
slicked
fresh.
back.
It's clean. Get out of here. Look like idiots.
I wear more suits than you do. You know what? All right, I'm not doing
You
this
probably
with you
do.
right now.
You probably do.
Yeah, I know I do. That's why I'm saying that I admire the look. LEWK.
Oh, God, it goes from bad to worse, doesn't it? Wardlow's here. That's great,
Would
dude.
you stop it? Leave that man alone.
Can we talk about the United Empire or Kingdom, whatever the hell they're called, and how their theme song starts with Roger Strong yelling at him?
Yeah.
You want me to take you serious? Stop doing that.
I did think that Adam would have gone away once they actually revealed themselves, but here we are.
I'm just
Starting to feel like, trying to keep fetch happening at this point.
yeah. I'm not in. All right, we're going to talk about NXT tomorrow, guys. Sorry. Or NXT AEW tomorrow. Man, that was bad.
Okay, whatever. That's fine.
Chase, you got saved. I think.
Yeah. And it's a simple but effective concept. I mean, lays the Chase U calendar, like it. Okay, cool. It's yeah, I'm here for it.
So I'm going to put my capital L Logic hat on.
Of course you are.
Isn't this college in crazy amount of debt?
Yes.
How many calendars do you think they're going to sell?
Well, I mean, if I could just play devil's advocate here, the last NXT star that went into that 4-way of doing content creation of that sort made $1 million before Christmas, and that was 2 months after being released. People would buy that calendar. Are you gonna sit here and say that you didn't honestly go to WWEshop.com last night to see if that was a real thing or not?
You think they sell it at Vengeance Day?
So let's just say, I mean, I would hope so because exactly one of us on this screen did that, and it wasn't you. And no,
No,
it's
it was
not
not
for
me.
sale.
No, the only time
No,
I go on WWE Shop is to find out if the belts are on sale.
yeah, I felt like this would be an appropriate time to,
No, like this storyline is just it's goofy. It's I
yeah,
just this whole thing of they like and they haven't sold a calendar yet, so like what happens if they sell like 15 calendars? You know what I mean? Like, that's just let me take my capital
yeah,
L logic
yeah.
hat
You
off.
have to, you just have to, you have.
The whole thing's silly. But Chase U's back. Woohoo.
Yeah,
JC Jane is
Andre
much
Chase
better as
needs
a
some
part of a
edge.
group.
Yes, she is. She absolutely is. I'm still not sure I buy her as a babyface, but it's fine.
Yeah, I think the singles run didn't work, so I'm thoroughly enjoying her in a group. And then your boy came and tried to get some calendars.
Oh yeah, Alexis King. Yeah, yeah.
What
Anyway,
what what feud or what is he doing?
you think I know? think I What?
What
Just because
happened?
we're all Cincinnati guys here, okay. I have no idea,
What happened
honestly.
to Bear Hill?
I don't know.
Is that his name?
Yeah, it is. It
I'm
is.
surprised I got that.
Like I always want to call him Trey and not Troy. Like
Oh, I thought it was Trey. It's not
it is.
Trey
No.
Bear Hill.
Yeah, but I want to do the invoice. See that's what that. Anyway,
I'm so confused.
yeah, so am
What's
I.
his name?
But let's call him Mr. Bearhill. How about that?
Okay, Mister Bear Hill.
Yeah, that better.
That's fine with me. Mr. Bear Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Lexus King. I don't think they know what to do with Lexus King.
It's
He's not on
tough.
the
Yeah.
card as of now, so
No,
I
I
guess we'll
don't
see what
expect him to
happens
be.
there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they kind of stumbled out of the block with this one.
they did because he just didn't come in with any feud. Like he hasn't been
Yeah.
able to. How long he's been here since what October, and has yet to
Yeah.
have like a sustained substantial feud.
Yeah. And even then, I think it had been like early August that they had started
The
teasing that
vignettes.
he was going to be coming in. So it's just, yeah, it's frustrating for sure because, when you hear Brian Pillman Jr. talk in interviews, and the desire to do something different and kind of the inspiration behind, why he is, going through this character change, name change, trying to change everything and distance himself from that legacy, it's just not translating on screen. It's coming off just very, I don't know, it low key reminds me of Russell Brand and Get Him to the Greek. Just not as
Okay.
charismatic.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely
No.
not the personality, but yeah, I think he does stuff like old school heel stuff that I enjoy, but I want
Yeah.
to see him. I want to see him in a feud, something I can kind of sink my teeth into, and
Yeah.
nothing's been there quite yet. So um, we'll see what happens. I don't want to spoil because I think we're gonna do it on the main event mixer, kind of preview a little bit of Vengeance Day, but there
Yep.
is one match that I am looking forward to the most on that card, and it does not involve Trick. It does not involve Mello.
I hope it involves Dijak and or Joe Gacy.
Yes, it does.
Hell yeah.
I love what I'm seeing from Joe Gacy right now.
Yeah, this is fun. I mean, the kind of I don't know. This is a very unhinged, just
Terry Funk.
yeah, yeah. There you go. I mean, this is kind of
Yeah.
bringing in some of that CCW deathmatch roots of just insanity from Joe Gacy, and I think that this is the perfect use for him. I buy him as just that crazy sucker for pain more so than I buy him as the crazy cult leader. Two very different things.
Yeah, and Dijak will get a good match out of you. I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers they have on the roster.
Yeah.
Another one that's kind of been like should probably be on the main roster at this point, but just has a weird character that they have going. That
Yeah.
who knows what happens, but like one of those guys that is just insanely talented and will get a great match out of Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy has been, I think, just fantastic as of late. So I'm really excited for that match. I think it's a no holds barred, right, or a false count anywhere or
No
whatever.
DQ.
So I'm that is the match that I'm looking forward to the most. And if you would have told me that at the beginning of this episode, I would have told you
Yeah.
were crazy. But I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
he
nuts.
essentially no sold that dumpster
Everything.
toss. Yeah.
He knows everything.
Yeah.
He
It's
just
just
kept getting back
yeah.
up. And that was
It's,
I love it.
yeah. Yeah.
Something
I
else I
mean,
love, and
what's
I know
that?
that you don't love. What? Why don't you like her?
I just look. I'm not saying that she's bad in the ring. I'm just saying I'm not a fan of the gimmick.
Why?
I'm not a fan. I'm just not.
Ariana
I don't.
Grace is
I don't
going to
know.
be a star in WWE because of that character. I'm
I
telling you
don't. I
right
don't.
now.
I do not know. I don't know. Maybe I need to
Dude,
watch Miss Congeniality again just because it's been a few
not
years and
even
just try to see
that.
what they're.
Just the whole thing. Her facial expressions. She can actually wrestle. We saw a little bit in this match that she can actually, put together a
I
pretty good
know.
wrestling match. But man, like her character is so over the top and so crazy. Like, I love it. I love this character so much. This is my
I
Grayson
don't.
Waller, and I will get you to my side.
Chelsea Green. Sorry, Chelsea Green would be a better.
That's fair.
I'm just saying.
I will get you to my side.
We'll see.
I promise. I
We'll
promise
see.
I will. And
Oh
another
Lord.
one, Fallon Henley. She's she's leveled up a lot. Like that
Oh yeah.
one, I could see, you know, in the future chasing a women's champion. Like I think
Hope so.
she's improved a lot, and I like the new character. So overall, like a really really good segment. And
Yeah.
Ariana Grace will get there. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about it, pal.
I will say I also appreciate as far as Ren Sinclair goes that they are basically her story is trying to figure out where do I fit in the women's locker room as a whole. I mean,
Mhm.
that's not necessarily a story that gets told on TV more or less, just kind of something that people experience as they're, making their way into a new locker room. And we've certainly heard more than enough stories as far as interviews with wrestlers, the kind of things that you do and don't do. As far as when you're new in a locker room. Also, just a cheap plug, check out our interviews in the archives.
All of
But
them.
I like this. Yeah, I like this for her, and I really want to see where this goes. It's basically just the new person in the locker room and on the roster trying to make a name for herself.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the women's division at all. We had another one with Roxanne Perez getting a good win. I
Yep.
think she looks good going into the match at Vengeance Day. I don't know if she'll win this. I think this might be her swan song, but
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this one as well because Roxanne is just like again. There's another future of that company that looks so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think it remains to be seen where this Lyra Tatum Paxley story is going to go. I mean, Lyra has basically just kind of said, "Nope, I can fight my own battles. Leave me alone." I don't know if this is setting up a very early heel turn for Tatum of sorts, or if this is going to be one of those unlikely duos. I don't know. Um,
I think it's gonna
we've
set up.
seen this gimmick.
I think it's gonna set up a cash in.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Before, at, or after Stand and Deliver.
I don't know, but I think it would probably be before because they may want to do Tatum Paxley and Lyra in a one-on-one match, or maybe even a triple
Okay.
threat match with Lola. But I think we're going to get a cash in sooner rather than later.
I hope so. She also definitely seems to be
She
ready
had,
for
yeah.
the next level as far as that roster goes. She's so incredibly talented,
Mm-hmm.
and she's definitely going to be the next standard bearer for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Going into 2024, especially when we know we're probably going to be saying farewell to Roxanne and Tiffany Stratton.
I agree. Also, shout out Blair Davenport. Um,
Absolutely.
another just stand out in that division.
Magnificent.
WWE's got a pipeline for the women's division. When they're ready to pull the trigger on any of them, they're
Yeah.
they're gonna be great. last one, and maybe we'll head out because I know you're pulling double duty, so I don't want to keep you up too late.
I'm so tired.
I know you are, bud. I know you are. It's almost like you have two kids, and you got to do all that stuff.
Uh,
Yeah, I heard you guys. The team no kids. Yeah, shut up.
Find the lie.
I'm not saying there is a lie. I'm just
Okay.
telling you to f off.
Sorry
Um,
that I. All right. Oh,
sorry that you
damn,
what?
spicy.
Sorry that you what? Finish your sentence there, pal.
You know what? No,
And you
that's okay.
and you better tread lightly because you know my wife. She'll come get you.
It's true. No.
I did see him get like that crazy corkscrew on his throat. I did see that. That was
Yeah.
also Wardlow. Don't care.
I want so badly for it to work for him.
Yeah, you do. I don't care. I know that Big Bill's on my screen, and I'm happy about that. Really weird Yankees hat, but that's okay.
It's fine.
Ricky
It is what
Starks
it
with the
is.
snakeskin pants too. Good for you,
Dude,
sir.
I'm
Good for
I'm so
you.
ready for him to come to WWE.
Good
Yeah,
for
like
you.
seriously, yeah. No, he just said it. I'm
Yeah.
so ready. Yeah, this is
Yes.
just. I
You,
forgot about this pre-tape match for Revolution.
oh, so they're gonna win. Sting and Darby are gonna
Yeah,
win the tag title.
yeah. Hey, not a bad way
I
to
don't.
go
I
out.
don't.
You
I
know.
don't like it. Or I don't. I don't not like it.
No,
Um.
I think it's perfectly fine.
Oh shit! I see. Oh, I did forget about this.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That cinematic era.
Yeah, I do. I
That
did.
might be worth a revisit and doing something cool with that. Just kind of looking back at some
Man.
of those great matches and moments. That's for sure.
All right.
But
Last thing before we
yeah,
head out of here. So again, we will get into our predictions probably on the main event mixer,
yep.
but say Trick wins the title at Vengeance Day.
Okay.
Um, we obviously think then it would be Mello and Trick at Vengeance Day
Most likely, yes.
for the championship.
Yes.
I then saw something online about what do you do with Ilya? Could you see them pulling like a Nakamura and bring Okada in, like a la Sami Zayn Nakamura? Just listen and do Okada and Ilya, maybe just like a one-off to debut Okada.
You you can't get my hopes up like that. You can't
I
get my
know,
hopes up like that. That is
I
like,
know, and I know he has two more dates, but like for a stand and deliver, like you're gonna
yeah.
need something for Ilya to do, and there's just not someone on the NXT roster that I think is at that level right now.
Yeah, and I think it would be too soon to go back to Tyler Bate or Pete Dunne.
They're
Just
gone.
as they're trying to find. I know that's what I'm saying, but like
Yeah.
again, we've also seen Dragon Lee come back to NXT, and I think a lot of that was because of the Wes Lee injury. But I mean, I cannot think of anybody right now that I would say, all right, this is who I need to see Ilya fight at Stand Deliver. As far as anybody that's already on that roster, at least in NXT.
I just have a really bad feeling it's gonna be like Lexus King. Or, what I would enjoy, and I might be a sick man, is Ilya and Oba at Stand and Deliver, like, because those two would beat the hell out of each other.
They would. They would. They seem to have Oba as a heel right now, even though he's
That's
getting
fine.
face reactions.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, no, I think that would be. I mean, okay, that would be the only person I think it's okay with. That would be the only one. Don't get me all excited about Okada. I just, at this point, I don't want to try to guess or postulate about how these free agency debuts are going to shake out because it just, I don't know. I'm tired of getting my feelings hurt.
I don't know. And hell, next week, Tony Khan's big announcement may be he signed Okada. We don't know. He
I,
delivered on the last one. And on the last one, he signed Osprey. So
that's great. I am really tired of the big announcements. I am just tired. Find something else. Find another way to bring this stuff out. It's he can
Starting at
he
9
can
o'clock
sit.
hour.
Yeah, it's fine. The network is watching. Can we get another 5 to 7 minutes? Is that okay? And then we'll wait for it. I'll wait for it in my ear. But it's just he's hyping. A lot of these have been hyped up so much that it's just like, come on, like if you have a big announcement every single week or every other week, like why am I supposed to care if they all have the same magnitude?
It loses the luster. I agree.
It's the bloom is off that rose, bro.
Kyle, if you're still watching, is Jericho getting booed? I don't.
Well, I will mute it so I can turn it up.
I see everybody singing. So again,
They are indeed singing.
All of it was alleged. I'm not going to say anything bad about it, but it is surprising that he's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kicking off the 9 o'clock hour, so it's not like they're trying to hide him or anything. So,
yep.
Hey, again, all of it's alleged. I'm not going to get into it. It is what it is. We're going to talk about it more tomorrow, I'm sure. But, Mr. Cincinnati, thank you so much for letting me join your podcast. I know you have so many co-hosts now, and you're so busy. Thank you for making time for me. I appreciate it. Our fans appreciate it. What can I say? Man of the hour.
Tower power, too sweet to be sour. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. We will be back at our normal time tomorrow at 6:30. Thank you very much for enjoying this episode, this Wind Down Wednesday of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. 2 great interviews dropping this week. Be on the lookout for those. Special thanks again to Eric Taylor and Mike Skyros for joining us.
Awesome interviews.
Yes, fantastic interviews. Hit that QR code, like, share, subscribe. One person, just one, if you know just one person that would like this podcast, make sure to send it to them, let them check it out and find that out for themselves. We are trying to grow this main event community, and we want all of you along for the ride. I don't think that there's anything else to mention. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here for the podcast ad. I'm Mr. Cincinnati. This has been the Wrestling Junkies podcast. We'll talk to you guys soon.